Hello everyone! I found out recently about the remaster of the first 3 original Tomb Raider games. And since I'm a fan of the series and have often played these games back in past, I was wondering how many changes are there. I won't review the game from scratch, but I will compare them from 2 perspectives. As a player who played the original game, and as a new player who liked the screenshots and decided to play this game for the first time. So I will start with the main thing – graphics. I have no questions there. The game looks beautiful, the colors are very rich, the game itself runs great on Windows 10, and even the requirements for it are not that great. You just need a GeForce 730 with 2GB on board. Lara herself also looks great, the triangles have turned into curves, but her hips are not so expressive, which can be considered as aesthetic crime. Many details that were part of the textures are now full-fledged 3D objects. The grass has become 3D-dimensional, and the water is much more beautiful. The cutscenes have been remade using new models. Heroes now move their lips, blink their eyes, and move more smoothly. Even when I played a Tomb Raider 3 1 week ago, I enjoyed playing Remastered, and I didn't get the feeling of nothing new except graphics. Also, there are changes that are absent in the original game. For example, when you're fighting with bosses, a health bar appears, and I can say for sure that some bosses took me less time to kill them than in the original game. This means that either the game changed the health of enemies, or changed the damage of weapons, or it became more accurate. This is also noticeable with the dogs in the first and second games. They die quickly. When approaching interactive objects like ammo, switches or walls that can be moved, you may notice an exclamation mark. This allows you to notice objects in the dark or green areas, and when you come close to the wall, you will understand whether you can push it or not. This will prevent you from constantly pressing the action button and seeing whether Lara will prepare to move it or continue to stand. Now, the main change in the game – controls. You can choose between standard control, which is a copy of the original setup, and the modern one. It's like choosing a date on your dating site. Are you over 35? Or are you 18 and hurt? Standard controls will completely suit players who played the original game, but modern controls will be extremely inconvenient. For new players, on the contrary, the new will be familiar, but the old will seem extremely difficult, and they will not understand how they can even play with such controls. However, depending on your choice, you will either complete a couple of levels or request a refund. And the reasons are this. Modern controls completely change your gameplay. You can freely rotate the camera, and this will save you from having to press the view button to start looking around the area from Lara's point of view. This will both allow you to enjoy Lara's forms and not waste time stopping and examining the area. At the same time, any press of movements causes Lara to move in exactly the direction in which you pressed, when in classic mode Lara would either turn or jump back. This can be a problem for both players. Old players will have to relearn how to take a running jump, and new ones may not understand why Lara falls off a cliff after taking just one step. This is also a problem with grabbing the ledge. Old players will turn their butts toward the ledge and then simply jump off and grab onto it. New players may not even know that it is possible to go down this way, and will simply request a refund at the first such situation. The camera will also affect the battle. Lara will jump to the direction she moves. To prevent this, you have to press jump button and the direction of the jump to make her jump in the classic way. It may be normal for the modern Tomb Raider games, but there it feels very odd. Most of the time I fought much worse with the modern control than with the standard, but sometimes I was able to fight much better. It's all a matter of practice, but in my case the duration of the game sessions depends on the size of my nerves. The things get worse with confined spaces. With standard controls, the camera behaves as it should, but with modern controls, the camera begins to behave abnormally, and during battle I lose my orientation too often. The fights underwater in close areas can be a true hell. Lara pointing herself into the bottom and doesn't aim at enemies. And when the harpoon magazine is empty, Lara reloads it and refuses to fire. I lost my last nerve cell and just quit the game. And while you can solve the aim problem by switching your control to standard, then it doesn't solve the reload issue. So I had to lure them to the surface and kill them with pistols. Another camera problem is changing angles. When you're getting close to the certain areas with traps or pressing a button, then your camera changes and shows Lara from the side with traps behind. And this is when you can crash your display. This is especially fatal for those who will play the first level of Tomb Raider 2. There is a section where Lara has to complete a corridor full of traps and she has no time to stop and look around. I died so many times because of running in the wrong directions when the camera angle changed. Thanks to my nerves, I find a way out. Press the view button so the camera moves to the Lara's head, and then continue the passage. And again, old players will find a way out, but what should newbies do, for whom the old controls are garbage and their first level is already causing such difficulties? Do you think they will go online to watch the walkthrough? I think it's easier for them to ask for a refund and go play something else. For my opinion, the camera is the main problem. You can get used to the controls as I did, but many people complain about the camera. And I think this is a main reason why so many people requested a refund. And one more note, in 2007, Tomb Raider Anniversary was already released, which represents the first Tomb Raider game, but completely new. The physics have been changed, Lara is more curvaceous, and the contrasts are the same as the remastered, but there it works perfectly, and I have no questions at all. Even the levels redesigned so marvelous that they are perceived as new. But it looks better and requires only a GeForce 3 with 64 MB of video memory, while the current remaster requires a GeForce 730 with 2 GB of memories. Yes, now this is a plug-in video card, but I'm talking about the game that looks better and is less demanding on hardware. Therefore, my opinion is this. This game is for fans who played the original games. Newbies will just get their ass burned. Only the most patient will be able to complete it using modern controls. And in general, this is probably the first game where in order to play it, you have to go to YouTube and watch the video tutorials of the controls. The only good thing is that remaster comes with all the DLCs. The first game is the Unfinished Business, the second with the Golden Mask, and the third with the Lost Artifacts. One more thing I want to notice as a Ukrainian. This game made by Russians. You can check it by yourself by visiting credit sections. All of them are from Saber Interactive that is located in St. Petersburg. Also, Daur Avisba is the author of the Russian game portal StopGame.ru, and I'm pretty sure that many gamers don't even know this and will know only after purchasing the game. But it's up to you whether to buy this game or not. Well, Xtremadia was with you. Press the like button if you like this video, leave comments on your thoughts about this game and subscribe to the channel if you don't want to miss new videos. Support me on Patreon and buy me a coffee, because the more you support, the greater the desire to make new videos, and I will just be pleased that someone supports me. Bye everyone!